Hey, good morning. Okay, today we're going to be taking and converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. Okay, so we're going to start with taking a fraction and converting it to both a decimal and a percent, and then we're going to do decimals to fractions and percents and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is take a fraction and convert it to a decimal, okay? And the way we do that, we look at the fraction and we set it up as a division problem. We're going to take the numerator and divide it by the denominator. Okay, and then that gives us our answer. Cannot forget to put our decimal in if we're doing this by hand. Okay, so what that means, this first example, write 7/8 as a decimal. That means we're taking 7 and dividing by 8. If I was setting this up in the division bar, I would set it up 7 inside, 8 outside. Okay, you're going to have to add a decimal and a 0 because 8 cannot go into 7. Don't forget, your decimal goes straight up. Okay, and 8 goes into 70 times, which is 64. Use this with 6. Add another 0. I'm not done. We keep dividing until we're done. Okay, 8 goes into 67 times. Subtract 56. Have a 4. Still not finished. You've got to add another 0. Okay, 8 goes into 40 5 times. Oops, moving my whole camera. Which does give us 0, so now we have our answer. So 7/8, or 7 divided by 8, is 875 thousandths. Okay, I'm going to erase my work for this one. Oops, and I erased my answer too. We'll just add that back. Okay, so our next one is to take and write 4/5 as a decimal. Again, 4 divided by 5, that's how you would put it in the calculator. 4 divided by 5, which gives us 8/10. Okay. Here's our next. We're going to take fractions and convert it to a percent. Okay, so step 1 tells us we're going to divide like we were just now and turn it into a decimal. So I'm going to take 3 divided by 4, and you guys punch it in that exact order, 3 divided by 4, which gives me 0 and 75 hundredths. Okay, then my next step says I'm going to take and move my decimal to the right 2 places. 1, 2. So this is going to become 75, and I'm adding my percent sign. Okay, let's try this next one. Okay, so again, we're taking 5/8. 5 divided by 8. 5 divided by 8 gives us 0.625. I'm going to take and move my decimal to the right 2 places. 1, 2, that's where my decimal is going to go. So this is going to be 62.5%. Okay. All right. Moving on, we're going to take decimal and convert it to a percent. Okay. So really all we have to do when we already have a decimal is take and move our decimal 2 places to the right, add our percent sign. So this one, 1 and 2, we've got 32%. Okay, this one, 0.5, you guys see I only see where I can move it once. We have to add that 0, okay, to be able to move it twice. So 1 place, 2 place means I have to add a 0. So this one would be 50%. Okay, be careful, it's not 5%, it would be 50%. Okay, and then we're going to take a decimal and convert it to a fraction. So it tells us to say the decimal the correct way. Okay, so I'm looking at this, I would say 15 hundredths. That's the correct way to say it. I'm going to write this exactly the same way I just said it. 15 hundredths means I'm going to write 15 over 100. Okay, if we're not super sure, I give you guys some stuff right here. You guys can write that down because it will help you. So once I have written my fraction, I'm just going to simplify it. Okay, both of these are divisible by 5. So I'm going to start there. Divide by 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So this is my fraction. Okay, here's my next one. First step is to say it the correct way. So this one would be, I would say, 8/10. I'm going to write it that way, 8/10. Okay, I again can take and simplify. These are both divisible by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that's my answer. Okay, so be careful. Make sure you're saying it the correct way. But if not, you've got a little information up here to help you. Always simplify it. All right, and now we're going to take percents, and we're going to change them to decimals and fractions. So the first step is to change it to a decimal. Okay, remember with the between percents and decimals, when we were going the other way, we moved it to the right 2 places. Now we're going to move it to the left. Okay, so I have 8%. My decimal would be on this side. So when I move it over 2 places, this is 1, and this is 2. So I have to add my 0 in front. So this one would be 0.08 or 8/100. Okay. Again, I've got 25%. I'm going to move it to the left. 1 and 2. That's going to give me 0.25 or 2/500. Okay. Remember, when we're talking percents are always out of 100. So when we're writing them out, we're always going to write it out of 100. So when we're taking a percent and writing it as a fraction, we're just having to put 100 underneath it. Okay, so this one's 25%, 25 out of 100. Okay, and then I know I can simplify this by 25. So 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4. Okay. The next one, we've got 13%, so 13 out of 100. 13 is a prime number, which means it's only divisible by 1 and 13, and there's neither one of those will go into 100 evenly. Well, one does, but it doesn't change the value. So this, of course, would be our most simplest form. Okay, so you guys try to work these out on your paper. I think these are already there. You might have to copy them down and just post them so I can see that you've done this. Your notes page is already assigned to you. There is also a homework sheet to do. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you later. Have a great day.